This is FPLFM back with another video. So a video bonus this week. So I'm going to quickly go through some really good captains and differentials for this up and coming game week. So we're going to go through some of the fixtures and some captains. So the first fixture is Bournemouth against Leicester. So if we quickly go to Bournemouth, the top differentials, I would say, Evan Nilsson, he's a striker, only 6.1 right now. He's a striker playing against Leicester, so that could be good. In terms of their midfielders, so Semenyo could be good at goal scoring against Leicester, so I think that would be really good. Clive, 10.8%, just a differential, so those would be my main differentials for that. With Man City, I don't think there are many differentials with Man City, but let's have a quick look. So with Man City, Haaland is 24, so that isn't a differential. Marmoush, no. But I would say De Bruyne could really do well against Fulham. It's his last game. They want a last hurrah for him, so that he could be a good differential there. And Ipswich against West Ham, so we're quickly going to go to West Ham. So I think Bowen is 16.4, so maybe just differential, but I'll definitely think he's a good captain this week. Playing against Ipswich. Ipswich are already relegated. He's been the most informed player on form. So 9 points you can see, 10 points, 9 points, 8 points, 8 points. And if you would captain him during these weeks, you definitely would have climbed rank. So I think he's definitely, if you don't count him as differential because he's above 16%, definitely as a captain he'll be differential. Liverpool against Crystal Palace. So I think it goes without saying Salah is a really good captain this week. He's been off form 2 points in 3 points, 3 games in a row, but I think last hurrah, he's the best captain this week. He'll be assisting or goal scoring. He'll want to break records. So I think he's like, so let's just quickly see how many goals and assists he's got. So he's got 28 goals, 18 assists. So I think he's about 2 off for the most goal involvements this season. So he's a great captain. Luis Diaz, not quite differential, but he'll be quite good. But I think if Gakpo starts, he could be quite a good differential this week. So we've got that. Aston Villa against Man U. So let's have a quick look at Aston Villa. So with Aston Villa, in terms of, okay, Watkins is way too high. How much is Rodgers? So I don't think Aston Villa have got a good differential. Asensio's only got 2.5%. He's a good player, but I would feel that's a bit too risky. Newcastle against Everton. So this could be quite good for differentials, actually. So in terms of midfield, so if Isak doesn't play and Gordon plays up front, he could be quite a good differential against Everton. It won't be an easy game, but Newcastle still need to come up with something in the race for the Champions League. Barnes is still quite good as a differential as well. So those are 2 differentials that it could be. That's what I'd say there. Nottingham Forest against Chelsea, so this is a big one. So with Chelsea, I don't think it's going to be a 0-0 game. So let's quickly look at differentials. So Palmer, if you're brave enough to captain him, could be a differential, because everything normally goes with. Enzo would be a differential, but Forest will be bang up for this game because if they beat Chelsea, they'll go above them in the league, and that'll most likely bring them into Champions League places. so he's quite a good differential. Yeah, so if Nkuku starts up front, he could be, but for some reason he hasn't been playing minutes, so I don't know what's happened there. Maybe a fallout. So for Arsenal against Southampton, so this could be quite good for differentials. So if you want a defensive change, Kivior is quite a good differential with 3.3%. Calafiori would be quite good for defensive change if you want that. Saka as captain could work because they're playing Southampton. Saka would definitely want to up his numbers because he's only got 6 goals this season. But also just keep an eye on the leaks for the starting 11. Martinelli only 3%. He could be a good differential. But my favourite differential for Arsenal would be Trossard. He's 4.2%. If you get a leak that he's in the starting 11 and he's playing up front, he'll be my favourite differential because he plays the false 9 role really well and he can score with both left foot and right foot. So I think he's really good. Up front, Havertz might make an appearance, but look out for the leaks just because he's not quite match fit. He might start this game because they might want him to get minutes against Southampton. So this is all depending on the leaks for the lineups. Spurs against Brighton. So for this game, I'm not going to pick any Spurs players because they got quite merry on Friday drinking on their bus parade for their Europa League win. So differentials for that would be Welbeck with 6.5. Striker, good form. João Pedro, I think, is suspended, so he won't play. So he's their main striker. He's quite good. And Matoma, it's only 6.2%, so he's a really good differential. Remember, Brighton are quite an attacking team, so I think he'll be quite good for that. Minte could be if he starts. This is all dependent on the starting 11, but 2 starters would definitely be Matoma and Welbeck. And for the final game, Wolves against Brentford. So with Wolves, I would say Cunha could be if he starts the game. He hasn't been playing as many minutes, but this is all dependent on the lineup leaks. So he could be. Strand Larsen is an injury doubt, but if he starts, he could be. He's not in too bad form. He's their main striker, and Cunha plays behind him. So those are the main ones from Wolves, I would say, and we go into Brentford. So with Brentford, their main men are Mbeumo and Vissa. So these are not differentials, but as captains, they could be a good shout. Mbeumo as a captain, Vissa as a captain as well. That could be that. But a good differential is Sharda, 3.4%. He plays as part of their front three, so he has been in good form. So as you can see, 8 points, 14 points, 11 points, 2 points, but still in really good form. So that could be the differential. So that's the video. So if I had to put the captains in order, I would say Salah because he's the main one, the main guy. Crystal Palace. Bowen, I would say because they're playing Ipswich. And number 3, if Trossard starts against Southampton up front, I think he's my number 3. And yeah, they're quite good captains, I would say. So this is FPL Fem. And yes, this is the final goodbye for the season. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment on the video. This is FPL Fem and I'm out.